On January 7th, I also watched Welcome to Marwen, which was released in 2018. It's a very sentimental and sadly very true story about a man beaten to within an inch of his life just for being different. Steve Carell portrays Mark Hogenkamp, the victim in question, as he uses his miniature model village of Marwen to help him cope through his recovery. With no memory of anything prior to the attack, we very much go on this journey with him as he tries to piece his life back together with the help of some strong female friends. A lot of the movie takes place in this animated fantasy world of Marwen, and the tone throughout these scenes is one of a slightly more serious kids movie. It's a bright, colorful world filled with gunfights, car chases, and even some death and mild nudity, but it's all undercut by this fun, hyper-real Toy Story style animation. Without these scenes though, I think the movie would have been far too dark and depressing for my tastes, because at its heart, it really is a sad, depressing story. And if all I wanted was the cold hard facts, I could watch the documentary. So I'm fine with seeing some artistic interpretation to make Mark's mental struggle easier to understand. Carell was well cast here too, to make Mark as sympathetic as possible, because there's some live action scenes with Leslie Mann that if you had a different actor cast in, would feel a whole lot creepier. And even though he was portraying a bit of a weirdo, it's hard for me to ever root against Steve Carell. I do like that this movie didn't try to portray Mark as some kind of perfect person, just because he was the victim. Rather, it tries to show the struggle of a person trying to learn to move on from a terrible event and trust in people again. It was also really nice to see the writers not force the relationship between Steve and Leslie's character, as she was playing the classic manic pixie dream girl. So the realization that you can't just force a person to fall in love with you was a great, unexpected, realistic result. And it didn't come at the cost of a happy ending either. It just wasn't that super unbelievable happily ever after. So I appreciated that this movie was rated PG-13, and that's really the age group I'd say this was made for. It's a slightly more adult look at mental health than, say, Inside Out, but it's still easy enough for kids to understand. Overall, a pretty average movie for me. I gave it a 5 out of 10, and its current list position for me is 699. Thanks for watching.